I will advise you, if you don't have money, and if you don't have what to say, it's not come to Abuja. Abuja is very expensive, actually, even from the house rent. To be saying rent that is big enough to buy, as in the amount, you can use it to even buy land. In your village, you can use it to fence your village.
If you're buying dried fish, there's something called Maiduguri dried fish. There's something called Maiduguri onions. So it's like a premium thing. If you're in Maiduguri, you can just drive your car and go and buy one bag of onions for I think 70,000. But bringing it from Maiduguri to Abuja, my mom pays about 100,000. So imagine how much she has to put for her profits to sell.
The capital that on a norm is supposed to even be chaotic, because that is where everybody wants to be. Because when Lagos was even the previous capital, you can tell before it was moved to Abuja, the capital is usually not this quiet and serene.
I used to see on social media and all that Lagos rooms are very tiny, because some people come to Abuja, maybe they just moved to Abuja, rent the place, and they'll be like, this house that I just rented, they can build 4 more rooms in the house.
It's here in Abuja that you see billionaires coming out to your events and, making it lively and donating money. More than 20 people coming from Lagos will ever do. Because here in Abuja, we see senators, sons, ministers, governors, presidents and former presidents coming to an event in a small place, and they are raising billions of naira in a night.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Spotlight Show. My name is Tamabari, and with me today we have
Mr. Chuk Solomon, a realtor, reside here in Abuja, the real property plug.
My name is Paul Zoka. I'm a realtor at Michelle Homes and I reside in Abuja.
Hi, I'm Karis, a top-notch real estate consultant, and I reside here in Abuja.
On this episode, we're going to unpack the chaos, the beauty, and the calmness of the two Nigerian powerhouses. Is it the fast-paced hustle and nightlife of Lagos, or the calm and wide streets of Abuja? Just sit back, relax, and get entertained, because it's about to get real. What comes to your mind when you hear Lagos? What phrase or what catchword comes to your head when you hear Lagos or Abuja? What comes to your head? Miss Karis, can we hear you, please?
To me, Lagos screams fast-paced, chaotic, unorganized, sort of. That's what I hear.
Mr. Chooks?
Anytime I hear Lagos, what comes to my mind is stand on your feet, sleep on their feet, impressed on their feet.
Oh, that's nice. So, Mr. Cole, what comes to your head when you hear Lagos or Abuja? What comes to your head? What catchphrase?
I think one of the catchphrases is "it is happening." It is happening because it's real out there. It's not easy being in Lagos.
Okay, so how would you describe the pace of life in Lagos and Abuja? Like, Mr. Chus, can you help us describe how life is in Abuja? The pace, is it fast? Is it slow? Abuja lifestyle and Lagos lifestyle.
Lagos. It's real fast in Lagos. It's comparing the two, it's just like comparing yesterday and today. Abuja is where you have the cool-headed, the calculated, and those that are willing to do at their pace. But in Lagos, you must be following the trend. Otherwise, if you snooze, you lose.
As Mr. Chu said, if you snooze, you lose. Ms. Karis, what's the pace of lifestyle in Abuja? What can you tell us?
Abuja is calmer, less pressured. I mean, you have your bearing, you have your focus. There's rarely anything called village people unless you're not serious. That's what I think about Abuja.
No.
And yes, that's where you get to see the 1% of the 1% that on a norm you wouldn't see when you are just leaders. Okay.
So, Ms. Karis, have you lived? You spoke about recently moving to Abuja. That means you've lived in Lagos before. So how was it? How was living in Lagos, and what made you move back to Abuja?
Okay, I see Lagos as what Mr. Chuk described earlier as being on your feet. You have to stand on your feet to survive and fit into Lagos. And it doesn't really have that work-life balance thing, because you're spending most of your hours at work or whatever you're doing barely at home, and you can't achieve a lot in a day. But coming to Abuja, in comparison to Lagos, Abuja has this vibe of, oh, I've struggled, I've achieved a lot, and I'm trying to like balance my life and enjoy my money as well as doing what I have to do to make ends meet. Unlike Lagos, that for starters, you have to struggle to make it. No, so I ran away because I fittings cannot come.
Well, on Abuja. So this question it boils down to all of us here. Which city do you think feels more balanced in terms of family, work, and relaxation? Which city do you think feels more balanced? We start with Mr. Truth.
Yeah, here in Abuja, is a very good place to raise a family, and there's more balance here. Just like following from what Carrie said, if you're in Lagos, it's more of you're commerce oriented or you're entrepreneurial oriented. That is how you can survive, and you don't have time for anything. But here in Abuja, you can be doing your work, your business, and the enterprise, and still have time for family. So it is a balance. I'll give you an example. Last year, my younger ones visited, and my sister's children came around. So it was a big, large family. We had to go out to unwind. I took them to some recreational places, including transport and eateries. We went to 3 places, and we were traveling in 2 cars. If it were in Lagos, the kiosk, one of us would have been lost for 1 hour in traffic, and the children would have had fun.
Yeah.
But we're able to go around, swim, eat, and unwind here in Abuja. So that is something that's very rare in Lagos.
Okay. So, Mr. Paul, can you give us an insight?
I mean, well, first of all, we need to understand what makes Abuja. I think looking at it, Abuja is a place that is the capital, exactly, like it's the capital of the country. So you have majority of the people that work in Abuja work for the government. So that already creates an environment, a friendly family environment where it's not much about commerce but more about management. Abuja is more of like a management place. This is where you manage the resources, manage the capital of the country in general. So it's easier for you here to raise your family because it's not fast paced. It's more of management. I'm not waking up in the morning to, okay, I have to hustle for my daily bread. As in, if I don't do this, I don't do this. At least in Abuja, you know that if you go to work, you are guaranteed something. But in Lagos, you're not. If you don't go out, if you're not on your toes, like my colleague here said, there's problem. But here in Abuja, it's easier for you to raise your family. And I think because of the fact that most of the people work for the government, they have time and they have space. Is controlled. The environment is controlled. You will not see the hold up around town like the way you see in Lagos. Because you cannot expect that the minister is going to his ministry. You cannot expect him to be 1 hour, 2 hours late, obviously. Or is it the president, or is it the senators, or you get. So the whole environment itself has to be conducive to make sure that if the capital of a place, if the machine of a place is not working efficiently, then there will be problem. So that's why Abuja is the ideal place for anybody. If you want to make money at a slow, controlled pace, Abuja is the place for you. But if you want to make money fast, trust me, Lagos too is. If you're that type of person, then Lagos is your place.
Miss Carrie, I noticed when Mr. Paul was talking, it seems you have another opinion about what he was saying. So please, can we hear it out?
I wanted to fight Shao. What do you mean? Fighting studio, happily chaotic. Is the capital that on a long supposed to even be chaotic because that is where everybody wants to be. Because when Lagos was even the previous capital, you can tell before it was moved to Abuja, the capital is usually not this quiet and serene. Abuja is just a lot more different than what we really know. And when you're comparing Lagos and Abuja, family oriented, yes, family oriented if you want to relax, right? But in the real sense, if you're not hustling, here, poverty will catch up with you. And if you don't know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, that's the 1% of the 1%, poverty will catch up with you. But over there in Lagos, even if you're a nobody, you will become a somebody by your efforts. You get it? So the family orientation, what the part I would agree with you is actually the part where you want to have time for your family, the work-life balance, no problem. Yes.
Well,
That part I agree.
I kind of agree with Karis because here in Abuja, if you don't have that commerce orientation, enterprise, and marry it with administrative orientation, you will not survive. We are realtors, so we are on our feet and we are doing it, but we are not in Lagos. If you want to succeed, you must marry the lifestyle of Lagos and administrative capital to make it work. No, it's not that kind of separating it. It's chaotic in Lagos, it's cool in Abuja. Life here in Abuja is more balanced.
Well, I think where you people are getting me wrong is I am not saying it's not chaotic in Abuja, but think about it this way: it is the capital. If somebody is, it has to be conducive for it to work. If I'm going to, okay, for an instance, we have Michelle Holmes now has a branch in Wuse. If I go to Michelle Hub, which is known as our headquarters, Basit, and it is chaotic, that means all the other branches will not function.
You're looking at
Yes,
yes, you're looking at that angle, but let me tell you, if you're well traveled and actually move around, we know that you know a place, you know the place. See, you know a capital by the way it is. The capital cannot be calm. It's not even possible. You see, is it from the rent? Is it from the cubicles that people be living in? The struggle is the capital usually is choked. Do you get? When you're now going out, expanding maybe to the suburbs, you see a vast land, expanse of space. But Abuja is really different. And if you notice, Abuja is gradually turning into Lagos.
Yes, true.
If you notice,
Yes.
right? So Abuja is not an ideal capital that you use to like buttress how a capital should look like, if you ask me.
So now let's move to cost of living. Which city do you think is more affordable when it comes to groceries, food, housing? Let's just say the total, everything that makes up life as a whole. Which city do you think is more expensive? Abuja, Lagos? Let's hear from Miss Caris. Can you tell us? You know, you just moved, so I'm sure you still know the difference of prices because moving is not easy. Buying things in Abuja and all. Which one did you find more affordable?
Please, I will advise you. If you don't have money, if you don't have what to say, it's not come to Abuja. Abuja is very expensive, actually, even from the house rent. To be saying rent that is big enough to buy, as in the amount, you can use it to even buy land. In your village, you can use it to fence your village. Yeah, so yeah, it's actually very expensive. Abuja is very expensive in comparison to, when you're comparing Abuja to Lagos, Lagos is very affordable. Transportation, cost of living and all of that. Although the transportation aspect of it is debatable because currently I think they are.
I think Lagos is more expensive.
I'll say it's debatable currently because it looks like Abuja is even trying to catch up in the Lagos because.
No.
But now, are you talking?
agree.
Let me make this. Now, your points, is it based on housing, based on groceries, or transportation, or
housing is expensive in Abuja.
okay?
Quite correct, yes.
Yeah.
Then when it comes to transportation, I'm saying currently that Abuja is trying to catch up with Lagos because Lagos is actually very expensive.
Okay.
Abuja is catching up because I can't even which transportation, where can you go for 100 naira in Abuja here? It's very rare, right?
Yeah.
Then when it comes to groceries too, it's actually is a bit confusing because when you go to our standard supermarkets and all of that, I think things are on the high side maybe because of our value of currency, a whole lot. But when it comes to our local food, like markets, our mama foods and all of those things, I think it's cheap in Lagos compared to.
I agree with you. You know why? Let me share my experience because I lived also in Lagos. And I started from Oshodi, the popular Oshodi there. And I was going to hustle in Ireland. So whether you're in Oshodi or whether you're in Ireland, from the period I was living, let us use 200 naira. You can get 200 naira food. And 200 naira food here, okay, let us talk about sugar, garri, beans. All together package, you can get the 200 naira worth. But where will you get it in Abuja? Even as we are progressing over the years, food of 1,000 naira in Abuja, somebody in Lagos will use it as good one pot of soup and the family will enjoy. So relatively, Abuja and Lagos. Lagos is cheaper in terms of food.
Yeah, I agree with that in terms of food, housing, and I think there's something that I need to put
In
out
terms of
there.
housing,
Yeah.
let me make because I used to see on social media and all that Lagos rooms are very tiny, because there's some people who come to Abuja, maybe they just moved to Abuja, rent the place, and they'll be like, this house that I just rented, they can build 4 more rooms in the house, you get, and then the rent is almost ×2 in Lagos. So I'm surprised people are saying housing in Abuja is much cheaper than Lagos.
Well. I'm saying housing is cheaper in Lagos because first things first, we need to understand that even the Lagos can generate revenue for itself without the help of the federal government. So you generating that much wealth for yourself creates that avenue for things to be cheaper. Mind you, Lagos has a port. It's like one of our major ports in Nigeria. So if things are coming into Nigeria, it's coming from Lagos. So it's going to be cheaper if you're getting it from Lagos. Do you know how much it will cost for you to bring whatever you're importing from Lagos to Abuja? So you have to look at the factors in place here. Abuja, most people don't farm. Abuja people most of them are not farmers. So even some of the groceries that we go to our local markets to get, they are still being imported from other places in Nigeria.
But it's closer, right?
Where?
We have the northern areas there. It's right, but it's closer to Abuja.
No,
which I feel is supposed to
It's
still cheap. But
no. It's still the cost of okay. Let me give you an instance. My mom sells onions, so she imports her onion. There's something called fish. If you're buying dried fish, there's something called Maiduguri dry fish. There's something called Maiduguri onions. So it's like a premium thing. If you're in Maiduguri, you can just drive your car and go and buy 1 bag of onions for I think 70,000. But bringing it from Maiduguri to Abuja, my mom pays about 100,000. So imagine how much she has to put for her profits to sell. So again, transportation has become an issue for Abuja vendors, whatever you're selling, because you don't produce. It's not a producing state, unlike Lagos.
Let me take you again on housing in Lagos. If you look at Lagos, there is no way you are going to determine whether house is cheap or expensive in Lagos, because if you want to rent a place by yourself in Lagos, the landowner or the landlord will ask you, do you want Marwa rate or do you want to rent a house? Do you understand? If you say you want Marwa rate, they will tell you there is no house. If you say you want to rent a place, they now tell you the real price. So if you're asking me, is house cheaper in Lagos? Everybody knows that at Marwa rate, it is very cheap. But you get the house? No. But here in Abuja, there is no double pricing. Whatever they tell you is going for, we say 4 million, 6 million, that's what you get. But with 6 million in Lagos, whether you are looking at Marwa or you want to get on your own, you will be living in Lagos Island.
So, sir, do you think in Lagos you get value for your money in terms of housing? Do you get value for your money? Like when you're renting a house, do you get value back?
Yes, to an extent, but not more than Abuja.
No, Abuja housing is crazy because you have to look at, for instance, we have these sophisticated areas such as Utako, Jabi, certain places of Varipas, Asokoro and all that. I'm telling you, you cannot find a 3-bedroom apartment just in those areas for nothing less than 7.5.
But you get value for your money, right?
You get value for your money, yes, but it's crazy.
You may not. The getting value. The good thing about us is that we don't have natural disasters and the man-made disasters, so you can get good value for your money. But if let us flood, we catch up. It's you. If you're the highland. But yeah, they're not like.
No, but there's flood too.
Please, no. It's the flood is they know what they are doing. Don't your flood, right? So but you get value for your money. Then you go and put all the whole POP issues I've been hearing. How many Abuja stands have been hearing? Just fair,
And what about the cost of rent and land? Can we compare cost of rent and land between Lagos and Abuja? Do you think it's comparable?
I think there are factors.
In Lagos, people who are commerce oriented are buying up even the swamps.
Yeah.
at a very affordable rate, giveaway. People they'll be thinking, what am I going to do with this one? But somebody knows that it's something you can get out of this one, buys it, frees it up, and resells. It takes patience, nevertheless. But here in Abuja, the land is there for you. There are no topography challenges. So if they are selling, for instance, 100 billion for a plot of land here, let's talk about Uzobe, Sokora, and Maitama. In Lagos, somebody may have reoriented another, and now want to package it for you.
So refined water.
30 million. I hear refined land.
Refined water. Refined water.
Because here in Abuja, the major factor is even human factor. Because I can tell you, if you're a developer and you want to buy, probably 150 acres of land, your major problem might be the chief of the place or the chiefs of the area. So human factors, they will tell you, okay, we will sell this place for you, let me say 2 billion. But it's that boss that becomes a problem. They'll tell you have to build for us school, you have to build for us moho. So you as a developer now, once you now think about all those things, you now have to factor those things into your price that you are selling per square meter. So if you see for Lagos, is the factor there is more about natural factors, but here in Abuja it's human made factor.
You call chief and all those things.
Chiefs and village, the village leaders.
Okay, but it's not that you're buying the land from sure.
Well,
Because you have to clientele, see, you have to compensation. Because it's there you're buying the land from my brother, carry this leg, put it on this cake, and I think carry this leg, put that wrong. Because Wike is going to come for you because tomorrow the clock.
Well, the point is, in Lagos,
Compensation.
title documents, sometimes it makes people scary. The major title document in Lagos that everybody can trust is when they say governor's consent. That is what obtains majorly in Lagos.
So now let's dive into career and opportunities. Do you think Lagos or Abuja has more opportunities career-wise? And do you think is harder to grow professionally in Abuja or is quieter? Which one?
Okay, I think Lagos has better opportunities and it's actually fast-paced in growth because you have diversity in Lagos. You notice Lagos is more of a commercial hub and industrial hub as well. I also see Lagos as a production state. So you see, you have the likes of entertainment, you have the likes of more of entertainment, you have the likes of a lot of professionalism, career workshops and stuff like that in Lagos. You barely have that here in Abuja. So Lagos gives you that growth, whether fast-paced or slow-paced, depends on who you are. But a lot of opportunities makes you to find your focus at the end of the day. But Abuja here, I wouldn't say you have that option like you have in Lagos. The thing here in Abuja, the very strong point here is if you carry the Lagos mindset to come to Abuja, it may not work for you. So Abuja has a lot to do more of networking, finding the right individual to diversify and let me say perhaps get to the top, because most times it's influence that gives you that affluence that you need, Abuja. Okay. So do you
I quite agree with that.
Yes.
Lagos has a high propensity for industries, and there you have industries and production. There is growth, career growth. Unlike in Abuja, where you have industrial layout, industrial zone, and the only thing you can know in industrial zone is Coca-Cola. Because that's the most popular name in Abuja industrial hall. But you go to Lagos, you cannot there are more than 1,000 names. You cannot even finish.
Yeah.
Assuming you want to grow through them. So career-wise and both sides, Lagos is where you are if you want to go.
And do you think Lagos gives that hustle energy?
Yes, of course, the spirit. There is a spirit in Lagos. Once they must vibe with the spirit. Otherwise,
Sorry for you. I agree in terms of career though.
Yeah.
If you want to grow, career, beats, whatever industry you want to be, is Lagos. But I mean, the lack of those industries in Abuja should be an opportunity for people. Because for instance, entertainment in Abuja is only managed by few. I want to mean few, probably 3 or 4 main companies, entertainment companies in Abuja. Because for an instance, if there's a big show in Abuja, big artist is coming, you see that this person is the one doing it or this person is the one doing it, and it's not much. So if I get certain experience from Lagos, I'll advise you should come to Abuja because people are yearning. It's true.
Guy, you now did the show now. Out of 100 people, it's only 10 that will come.
No.
See, Abuja has pride. I want to tell you something. Abuja has pride. So you cannot use Lagos mindset to come to Abuja. You have to understand Abuja. You see, sometimes you have trade fairs and stuff like that. You'll be estimating a turn up.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you'll be taken aback, right? There's a show that happened recently. I think for one night like that. A show that happened recently. I did it around Central area, the Dome area.
Yeah.
See, I don't go out midnight though, but I was forced to come out. The population I've seen, I said in my entire life in Abuja, I have not seen such. And when I inquired, most of the numbers that were there were not even Abuja people. Were Lagos people that actually came out for that show. So the point is, it's a good opportunity, yes, but you have homework to do. You have to understand the style to enter the market.
Yeah, I get you. I'm not saying it's easy, but what I'm trying to say is that once you get it in Abuja, you get it. There's money now,
and you have to go and know people that way.
So let's say before we dive into that midnight life and all, let's talk about the infrastructure, transport, daily stress in Lagos. Like, what's your people that stayed in Lagos, like Mr. Chicks and Miss Caris, you have stayed in Lagos before. So what's your experience with traffic and transportation to and fro? I'm sure you have done the hustle thing in Lagos, going to work and all. How were you able to cope?
Yeah, in terms of transportation, it's a system that pays your patience from morning to night. You have to be very patient to travel through Lagos. And if you have
to travel through Lagos.
if you, for me, that was going from Moshut to Ireland. You understand? So it's either you are waking up by 4 a.m. before 5:30, you're out of
heading with center boat.
You're out of your house.
Boat, boat, like boats in water.
Like boats in water.
There is train now.
Lagos,
Train now.
you know, the cash flow, if you're not in commerce, it's not that easy. So you have to improvise and devise a means of going to where. For me, like one day, let me give you an experience. When I just finished my youth service and I was called for an interview, that day I had no cash in my pocket, but I had my ID. So fortunately enough, as somebody that goes on bus, so some of those people, when they come, they say staff. When they bring the ID, they don't look at what is written on the ID. They look at the logo. Once they see the green, they say, okay, the staff. They don't collect money. So I was going for an interview and I had no cash in my pockets. I had to be there before 8:30. So immediately I entered the bus, the first thing that came to my mind, staff. I just brought out like, I saw them, it said staff. The man said, okay, sit down. So I had to go. But here in Abuja, it's either you are taking Uber, you are taking a taxi, and there's no room for you to bring your ID to say your staff. So
you're not possible. You must pay that council.
That's it. Lagos gives you an opportunity to, do a whole lot of things.
Okay, Mr. Paul, now back to you. So where do you feel like has the better social, like the nightlife thing, the social life? But you see Lagos and Abuja now.
That one is not even an argument. It's night and day. It's Lagos. Lagos is in fact, I don't even think there's any place in Africa like Lagos. I don't think there's any.
Sure, New York is not the least.
No, I said in Africa. Like Lagos, because even artists in other countries that want to blow worldwide, let me use the term blow worldwide, it's still Lagos. They will come to and look for our artists to feature with them, because some of these other big artists in Africa, most of their biggest songs are collabs with Nigerians, and most of them are based in Lagos. So if you're talking about entertainment and nightlife, it is Lagos, hands down.
But Abuja is not that.
Abuja is not bad. Abuja is too boring. Abuja is boring.
Let me differ with any difference similarity. The terms of nightlife and activities, I say, you are talking about organization and sponsorship, the way you are looking at it. If here in Abuja you want to do a night event, there is a point you have to sieve the chaff from the wheat. It's here in Abuja that you see billionaires coming out to your events and making it lively and donating money. More than 20 people coming from Lagos will ever do. This here in Abuja, we see senators, sons, ministers, governors, presidents and former presidents coming to an event in a small place, and they are raising billion of naira in a night. But bring it from Lagos crowd. Yes, people will know you are doing something. People will hear about it. But in terms of finance, so that's why I said
You're sorry to finance. This is what you're about. Talking now, someone that doesn't have an idea of this now, nothing. I've now host party in the night. I've now billionaires.
Do you understand? Talking about
There's
a crowd.
It's a crowd. But then you see Lagos.
And yes, it is your connect.
Lagos gives yourself spotlights.
Gives it us.
For instance, I said this traffic you're even complaining about in in the night, the road is like Abuja road. You will go from here to here. People don't sleep. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. People are even buying things on the road.
Like when in Abuja, the road is always clear.
No, who do you see on the road selling that lights like this?
See the human capital. See, Lagos in this entertainment. See, you can have a show.
We don't do home.
I'm sorry, you can have a show in Lagos and you can average 1,000 people.
Yeah, that's why I'm talking about the crowd.
Yeah, but if you do a show in Abuja, you are averaging about 200, 250, 500.
Let's touch another place. Well, okay. In terms of building networks and building relationships, which place do you think is better, Lagos or Abuja?
I think Abuja is better.
I think never break your heart for Lagos.
I mean, it's Abuja because of it is the capital. It is where everything functions. It is where it is the capital. Now it is where the chief rates. It is if you're talking about where does the money land to, because money from Lagos will come to Abuja, money from Maiduguri will come to Abuja, money from Zamfara will come to Abuja, and the people that are distributing this money are still in Abuja. So my point is, if the senators are here in Abuja and you're looking to raise funds for something or trying to strike a deal that is going to cost you billions, if you want to follow through organizations, fine, I'll tell you to go to Lagos. But if you want to get from government sponsorships large amount of money, it's here.
So the part I don't agree with you, okay, when you say that whole networking and everything,
yeah,
I'm saying, see, when you say networking in Abuja, why we say it works for you is because the way you want to meet up something or you're working towards something, that networking is okay. But on the general statistics, when you talk about the networking thing, Abuja doesn't give that to you. It's Lagos. Why? Because Lagos is a people's thing. We have the whole population thing, and networking in Lagos is very interesting because you have diversification, all sphere of life, all sphere of industry. Seek different people that actually show up for you.
And Chachu, do you see yourself living in Abuja for a long time, like in your current city?
Yes. I have lived there in Europe, so Abuja is if you travel to Europe and come back and live in Abuja, it's still as if you are still at your home in Europe. So definitely I'm going to stay here for a long time.
Okay, that's good.
Do not smell.
So be scary. You just moved to Abuja, so definitely.
It's not just move. I stayed there and I like it here.
And you like nice area. So if somebody is relocating from outside the country and he wants to move to Nigeria, he's thinking between Lagos and Abuja, which state would you
please welcome? For someone that stayed in New York, maybe you can get to Lagos. If you're pursuing tech, entertainment, and all of that, it depends on your lifestyle. If you're on those kind of fast-paced job roles and stuff like that, please go to Lagos. If you come here, you'll be frustrated. But if you're someone that loves stability, family, cool, your peace, Abuja is for you. So you cannot actually say which is better. It all boils down to your lifestyle.
I mean, for me, it's Abuja. All the way. I've been raised there. I love here. Like, I've traveled to other places.
They're being biased.
Now, not being a bias.
Alright guys, thank you so much for honoring us today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the insightful thoughts, and then thank you for the buzzballs too. Some two buzzballs. So I hope the viewers, you are entertained. You've now seen the perks of Lagos and Abuja, and I'm sure when you're thinking of which city to move on, it won't be hard. And we also have properties in this location. So if you want a house or land in Lagos and Abuja, contact Michelle Holmes and we'll be at your beck and call. Thank you so much for your time. Like, share, and follow this post. Subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for the next episode.